rehabilitation, and we do treatment as well. Prevention is better than what? It's very far better than cure, and it's even cheaper. Is it not cheaper? Thank you. So that's when I said NDLA, we are doing so much, and our chairman is doing wonderfully as well. When you abuse drug will abuse you. Hello? When you abuse drug will what? It will abuse you.
Scenario that a family friend, this guy went to family friend. On getting there, he just met the guy eating beans. Unknown to her, she didn't know that the guy cooked the beans with marijuana. After taking it, she tore her dress, and before she can recover herself, she landed in the hospital for care unknowingly, innocently. She just felt it's beans she's eating. Even at this Balam Avenues, they cook indomie with marijuana. Yes, some lace cakes with cocaine. Cake. The cake we love. They lace it with cocaine, heroin. They do mixtures. So let's be careful. Know the type of people you mingle with.
And we were always happy within ourselves. We believe that our parents, we are so rich. And those days, it is only the sons of the rich or the daughters of the rich that smoke Indian hemp. I never knew how to smoke it before. But when I went to the Apostolic Grammar School, my fellow students, I learned it. And I was of the whole school. So I learned how to smoke cigarettes and Indian hemp. Since then on, I became an addict. You see, I was smoking this Indian hemp up till the time I left, because I left grammar school a year ahead of my mates. We were the last University of London GCE. That was 67, 68 period. So I left the school. The school. So the whole year that I left ahead of my mates, I just wasted it because of drugs, because of Indian hemp. It was only Indian hemp then. I wasted everything. I remember going for the interview with this UTC stores. Then UTC was still UTC. You know that instead of me going into the hall to write the exam, I left for we called it Marina, the former this place, former harbor in Marina, in front of that departmental store in Marina. That is where we had we call it Orignoni that time. I went there. I started smoking Indian hemp. By the time I will remember that I was to be in an interview, I was already done. So when I got to the interview, they gave me papers. They gave me everything. I didn't know what to write again. I cannot even read what was written in the paper. So I left. So many things like that happened to me. Drug spoils life. It spoils life. I am giving you my own revelation now. And I know of a friend. He's a Lagosian. He was a Lagosian because he's dead now. He had this money. Very popular family at Isaleko. He traveled. When he came back, all the money he brought back from overseas, he bought 4 flats, 3 numbers of 4 flats in Surulere here. Because he was on drugs, that time it was what do they call it? This one that is sniff. He was sniffing it. Cocaine. He was sniffing cocaine. We talked to him all that period. I have left Indian hemp smoking. I was into beer drinking because I had an experience. If you are an Indian hemp smoker, you won't be able to drink up to 2 bottles of beer at a sitting, because it is that Indian hemp that you'll be thinking of. Only cigarette. You can just mix cigarette with Indian hemp, but you cannot drink beer up to about 2-3 bottles at a time. So I was drinking beer. You know, the rate I was drinking the beer I was feeling that I wanted it to intoxicate me up to the state that Indian hemp intoxicates me, and it was not true. It cannot happen. But through that, the thing started spoiling something inside me that I never knew. It was later when I went to work with the Nigerian breweries, a doctor told me what damage beer was doing inside me. You see? So there is no drug in this world that does anything good for anybody. It is better not to attempt it than attempting it. I know very many people. That my friend later sold all his houses. It was later I now called him. I said, you have sold all your houses now. The next thing is for you to now sell one of your children for for cocaine. You know that later, after selling everything he had, he just died like that. He died like that. It never pained me because I told him to stop this thing. He refused.
As well as the middle belt and the far north, people are engaged in drug abuse and the misuse of drugs. A lot of people, because they want to sleep, or they don't want to sleep, or they want to be more productive, so to say, they engage in the use of illicit drugs. Some of those drugs are not supposed to be used anyhow, but unfortunately, a lot of people are involved. And to make things worse, people are getting into synthetic drugs that are very, very injurious to their health, their mental health, as well as their organic health. Let us look into this. The government has a lot to do, as well as the NGOs. We need to create an awareness so that people know that this thing is there, and we need to rehabilitate a lot of these little ones that are engaged in this terrible situation that we call drug abuse. You go to the roundabouts, go to uncompleted buildings, go to parties, go to all the places, you find them. It's very unfortunate, and the way it is going to affect the future of the country, and naturally it will affect the productivity of those young ones.